right, welcome back. Your Chicago Bears update for the day, March 19th, Wednesday. Primarily a couple things. Number one, the Bears contract update for Jonah Jackson, and the new Bears were in Halas Hall signing their contracts. We have some pictures and video from that, so it's kind of fun to see those things, as well as the new numbers for their jerseys have been announced by the Bears on their website as well today. So you saw from the first page, Jonah Jackson in there with Ryan Poles. Here is Drew Dahlman with Ryan Poles, and you can see on the left side here, they've got the key, they've got some of the biggest names right here for, Olamide Zaccheaus, Grady Jarrett, Drew Dahlman, and others, right here. They're main, but you see all of the numbers, and one of that sticks out to me, Maurice Alexander, who came over from the Lions, is taking Colin Johnson's numbers, so it makes me wonder if Colin Johnson's not even an option to bring back for the 90-man roster. I thought the Bears would at least bring him back for the 90-man roster for how he performed last year in the preseason, but that is to be determined. He could always take a different jersey number as well, but those things typically mean that they're not going to bring him back, so that's a little bit interesting. But there's all the jersey numbers: Olamide Zaccheaus, Swayze Bozeman, Alex Cook, Grady Jarrett, Drew Dahlman, Dio and Odengbo, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, Jordan McFadden, Joshua Miles, Maurice Alexander, Durham Smythe, and Jordan Murray. So those are all the new jersey numbers for those guys. The other big news, the Bears have released the salary cap figures for Jonah Jackson's contract. Now, some of them have not been released still. You see Durham Smythe, Travis Honer, Olamide Zaccheaus, Steven Carlson, Doug Kramer, but all of these should be relatively small and shouldn't impact the salary cap much. Because if they replace someone that's on the top 51, say someone's at $840,000, a league minimum, and they're 1.5 or 2, it's not a huge difference. So we're not talking huge difference changes. We know Travis Homer is a $2 million contract, so we can slot that one in. Olamide Zaccheaus made $1.275 last year with Washington. I would guess he's somewhere around 2 to 2.5. Steven Carlson won't count because he's going to be a practice squad player. Doug Kramer, probably the same, competing with Ricky Stromberg. Either way, league minimum for those two. And Durham Smythe right down there as well. So the big thing here with Jonah Jackson, yesterday on Twitter, I said this almost exactly an hour or a day ago. Is there legitimately a reason Jonah Jackson contract details are taking forever? Like taking forever. And then today they released it. So 3-year, $52.5 million contract. So it averages out to be that just over $17.5 million average still. But you can see the way they've structured it is just like we thought. It's backloaded, or medium loaded, we should call it. It's $10.5 million against the cap this year, $25 next year, and then $17 the last year. So they're really taking the bigger average and putting it into the second year. It's what they're doing to make it possible to build this team to win right now. That's what they're doing with these contracts. So where does that leave us with the salary cap? Well, we pull open the trusty spreadsheet. Okay, so we're going to run through this pretty quickly this morning. Not a lot to change on here. Olamide Zaccheaus, we don't have the contract details. We know with Washington it was a $1.275 million contract. I would expect it to be somewhere around the same, maybe $2, maybe $3 million, but nothing game-changing there. The big one this morning, and Steven Carlson's won't matter because it won't count against the 51. Big one this morning is Jonah Jackson's right here. Look how backloaded that is. Medium loaded, I guess you can say, but not impactful this year. So it'll be interesting to see if the Bears do something with Joe Tooney. But then also Doug Kramer, he and Ricky Stromberg, will they battle it out for one of these spots? That's one of my big questions because it seems like we're kind of filling up the offensive line. Maybe draft 1 or 2. I don't think we'll draft 3 anymore. I don't think that. So then you get down here, Chris Williams is expendable. So if we do fill a defensive tackle in the draft, that contract is expendable. And then wherever the rookie fits would, slot in there and most likely be cheaper because we've already accounted. Remember, we've already counted for this rookie cap right there. So as it stands right now, take Olamide Zaccheaus out of this 11. We're sitting somewhere around $9 million. And with 44 players already accounted for, and that does include Olamide. Let me go back up here and show you here on the right side. Olamide Zaccheaus, you see I count him right here on the 44, and then you add the 7 rookies to that. That's really your 51-man cap roster. So we're sitting right there at your 9, 8, whatever Olamide's contract is right where this is going to sit and where we'll be standing right now. So it's buffer cap range. We're really within that buffer cap range. Not saying we couldn't sign anyone else, because all those, you can fill up your 90-man roster. So we're going to fill up that roster, and only the top 51 count against it. And we still can cut. Let's go back up here. You can see Ryan Bates would be $3.5 million saved. He already has the $500,000 bonus. That's his. He's keeping that regardless. And then you get up here to actually down. Let's go down to Chris Williams, and you can save money there too. So there's still roughly $6 million you can save, once you put a different contract in there that'll, take some of that space up too. But there is some slight space to save there, and then we can see what the Bears do from there. But that's an update on the salary cap. Also, along with that, I'm going to point right back to our offensive line chart. I really do think this leads to the Bears taking, with the Drew Dahlman contract, that's really a sizable contract. I think the signing of Doug Kramer, along with Ricky Stromberg, even Chris Glazer and Jordan McFadden, these guys, they can all duke it out for that last spot. I think the Bears' plan there is a backup competition. I don't think we're going to draft 3 offensive linemen. I think right now you're kind of gearing towards drafting 2 of them out of those 7 picks. That's just a personal gut feeling. This is not reporting on anything. This is just how I feel after all that. I do think they'll go, Ryan Bates could even slide over and fill in at center too. So I think that's more the direction the Bears are going. So, and then last to round out today's just update, here is where we stand with everything. The top 30 visits are going to be well underway here very soon. We know a couple of them are scheduled already. We'll have 30 plus of those. And then you have the pro days going on now. I'll give an update on those in just a second. The annual league meetings, and then right after that, around April 1st, 2nd, that's when you're going to see all of the pro days start hitting. So you'll see a lot of those. So I updated this yesterday. This was from Big 12 Pro Day. That's going on right now. You can pause this if you like, but I already went over this one yesterday. But at the same time, there's still other pro days that are happening. So yesterday, you can see Central Arkansas, David Walker, Oregon way over here, Derek Harmon, Josh Connerly Jr., Jordan Birch, Terrence Ferguson, who the Bears have shown interest in, Jeffrey Bossa, Tez Johnson, Jamry Caldwell, who the Bears have showed interest in. Several there, and then you've got South Carolina here with lots of big names. T.J. Sanders, who did very well in his pro day. Nick Amanwari, who I'm very high on. Raheem Sanders, Demetrius Knight. Go over here to Alabama, who's happening today. So these ones, March 19th, these are happening today. Jihad Campbell, Tyler Booker, Quinn Robinson, or Qua Robinson, Tim Smith, C.J. Dupree. If you go to Stanford here, their big name wide receiver, Eric Ayomenor. San Jose State's Nick Nash, who I'm very high on. And Minnesota, Ariante Ursary is one of my favorite prospects for the tackle position. Tyler Cooper, Ja Joyner, several there as well. So those are some of the big names in pro days right now. We'll see how the Bears show up for those, if there's a lot of interest in those. But I'd say the biggest news of the day is the contract update for Jonah Jackson, where that stands. And, man, you got me as a Bear dad with this picture right here with him and his little girl. Bear dad's bear down, man. Him with his little girl tugs at my little heartstrings. I'm excited to see that we extended his contract. We got him for 3 years, and we front-loaded that a little bit. That's the biggest reason for that restructure. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you don't mind hitting that like button, we got the update for the day. We'll let you know as anything else comes along. Of course, live with Carl tomorrow. Comment in the comments below. Love to interact with you guys. Until next time, appreciate you tuning in. Da Bears, and bear down.